In this video, I'm going to show how to place the outer door handle on the front doors of this Ford Excursion. These are different than the rears because they have the lock cylinder in them. Let's get started. Using a plastic trim tool, go up to the sail panel right here on the corner and pry it off gently. You don't want to break anything. Once that pops off, let's move down to the mirror switch. We'll do the same thing with a plastic trim tool. Just pry it upwards until it pops out. And on the back side, if you spin it, you'll see all of the electrical connectors that we have to unplug. Pressing onto their locking tabs, wiggle them and pull them out of their spot. They only plug into one slot, so you don't have to worry about accidentally putting them in the wrong place or remembering where they go. And last one for the mirror switch. Set this switch aside. Now with the switch out of the way, we can see a 7mm bolt that we can undo with a 7mm socket. That'll release the door panel at the top. At the bottom of the door, you'll see this lens that covers up another mounting screw for our door. Pry it off with a little screwdriver. And behind it, you'll see not only the courtesy light bulb, but also a 7mm screw. Remove that. Now we're going to lift up on the door panel and pull it off of the door. Turn this counterclockwise and pull this out. Peel off the vapor barrier. There we go. On the inside of the door panel, if you look closely where all of these rods come down from the handle, you'll see a green locking tab holding in one of the rods that comes down from the handle. That's the one that actually operates it. We're going to have to unclip that. I'm going to grab a pick and basically pick it apart from the back side of it. That's the only way you're going to get to it, so we can remove the rod. Once again, I'm going to stick my pick back there, grab onto the green tab from the back side, and unclip it. It's going to be quite difficult to see, but you can reach it if you have a long pick. All right, so I opened the tab and then I pulled the rod right out of that bracket. Looking through the large circular opening in the door, you'll see where this rod connects to the tab, holding it onto the lock cylinder. It has two plastic tabs that lock it in. So with a flathead screwdriver, I'm going to pry them away as I pull on that rod with my other hand. And there we go, that pops right out. Just let it hang over here. This is one of the two mounting nuts for the door handle. This one has a retainer on it. This goes to the number pad on the outside of the door for the locks. So pop that off and use an 11mm wrench, put it over the mounting nut and unthread it. All right. The other mounting nut can be found if you pop off this grommet and then stick an extension with an 11mm socket right in there. Unthread it and carefully remove it. Now from the outside, pull the door handle out. And there it is. However, we do need to remove the lock cylinder out of this, so let's do that. Doing this only requires a flathead screwdriver, which you can use to pry out on the locking clip. Take it out completely, push the lock cylinder out, and now this we're going to use in the new handle, and there's your old handle. Here's the new handle. I'm going to take the lock cylinder. This clip should already be installed and ready to go. and I'm going to press this in with the plastic tab facing towards the center of the door. Press it on until it clicks. It should not fall out if you try to pull this away. If it's not locked in and you leave it like that, when you stick your key in to unlock the door, the cylinder is actually going to fall inside the door. Definitely want to avoid that, so make sure this is locked in properly. At this point, let's install the door handle. And before we do that, it's always a good idea to clean off the area. There's always debris and dust and dirt that collects around here. This is where the seal goes, and if you can prevent water from getting in the door, although it does have drains, it's always a good idea to clean it off. Take your door handle, make sure this tab goes down in, and then line up your 2 mounting bolts, or studs I should say. There we go. Press it on. Let's install the 2 mounting nuts on the door handle, starting with this top one. Once it's bottomed out and snugged, give it about 1/8 of a turn at most after it bottoms out. That is plenty tight right there. I'm going to cap this off with that grommet. Install the lower mounting nut. Thread it on as far as you can by hand, and then same thing, we'll snug it up. On this one, don't forget to clip in the harness retainer for the number pad on the door. Now take that lock rod and stick it right into the tab or the clip that secures it on the lock cylinder. You can help push it in with the flathead screwdriver. Make sure that's secure. Right next to it is then going to be the rod that comes down from the door handle, and resecure that by clipping it back on with that green retainer. Perfect. Reinstall the vapor barrier, glue it onto the door panel, make sure the courtesy light bulb pokes through. If you need to use any tape to hold it on, do that. That way it doesn't keep falling off on you. Put the door panel back on to all of the little hooks that hold it on. Make sure the lock indicator makes its way through the door panel. Tap it down. Let's reinstall the screw at the bottom. Snug it up. Put the lens over. Reinstall the screw at the top. And with that snugged up, let's reconnect all of the plugs on the master window switch. Make sure they click in. And put the switch back down, starting with the back because it has this little tab that goes in, slides backwards, tap it down at the front. Reinstall the sail panel. And there you have it. Job is done.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.